So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and we are currently learning Ultimate Python course from beginner to advanced. So if you are a complete beginner or want to improve your skills in Python, then this course is for everyone. And in this tutorial we will learn the most important topic of Python, and that is OOPS, that is object oriented programming. And with that we will make some of the great projects and we will practice some of the questions also. And now if you want to master Python, then this is the perfect playlist for you. You can visit this playlist and you will get its link in description box. So see this. So in our Python course, we are practicing each and every topic with the help of some great projects, and we are practicing some of the questions also. So see here, this is our first tutorial. Okay. This is our second tutorial. This is our third. Here we are making a project, and that is birthday counter. Okay. In this also we are making a project. In this also we are making a game, and that is a mini project, right? In this also we are making a project and practicing some of the questions also. And this is the Python password validation project, right? This is the game which we are making with the help of Python. This is the tuples tutorial in which we are making projects. This is the string. Here also we are making a project. Okay. This is the dictionary tutorial and its project is this, contact management system. This is the sets tutorial. Here also we are making a project. In functions we are creating 3 projects. In recursion also we are making a mini project and we are practicing some of the interview questions because it is very important. That's why. In file I also we are creating a project. Okay. So you can visit this playlist and you can watch each and every tutorial from beginning because each and every topic is connected to each other. So you will get its link in description box. You can check out. So now without wasting any further time, let's continue our Python series. So now we will learn what are OOPS with the help of examples. Okay. So when we have to solve real world problems, then we can use OOPS, right? And what is the full form of OOPS? Object oriented programming. OOPS are mainly based on 2 things, and that is classes and objects. Okay. So see here, with the help of example, I explain you in the easiest way. For example, I have my own fashion brand, right? So in my brand or in my company, dresses are manufactured and they are sold into market, right? Or you can imagine that my dresses are sold in my own stores also. Okay, you can imagine in that way. So the dresses which are manufacturing from my brand, for example, these are the dresses. So this is first, this is second, and this is the third dress. Okay, so if I give these dresses names, and that is D1, D2, D3. So what are these? D1, D2, D3 are the objects. Okay, you can imagine them as objects. Okay, and now tell me, what will be my own company or my brand? That will be class. Okay, my brand or my company will be class, and the dresses which are manufacturing from my own brand, these will be objects, right? So now the next is inside the class. This is the class. Okay, inside this class I will write some blueprint, and when we will manufacture these dresses, that is D1, D2 or D3. Okay, so each and every object or each and every dress should follow the blueprint what I will write in this class. If you have not understood, don't worry, I'll pardon this and I will explain you with the help of syntax and code also. But first listen this. Okay, I'll pardon this part. I will write some blueprint or the properties inside this class. Okay, and whenever my company will manufacture these dresses D1, D2, D3, which are objects, each and every object should follow the blueprint which I will write inside this class. So see here, this D1, D2, D3 are the objects. This is the steps which we will follow, and see here, this is the syntax. For example, if I give my brand name and that is PR Fashion, or my company name that is PR Fashion, right? So I will create a class, that is class. This is the syntax. Then you have to write the name of your class. So I'm giving its name PR Fashion, right? Inside this curly braces, you have to write the blueprint or the properties. So if I give 3 properties, and that is for the object I'm giving the properties, that is D1, D2, D3. You can create objects till 1000 or 10,000 also. Okay. So if I write the properties or the blueprint in my class, so I should write what will be the color of my dress. Obviously, whenever my team will create these dresses, they should know, or I should know when I'm designing this dress, what will be the color of this dress, for which gender I'm making this dress, because in my brand menswear is also there and women wear is also there. That's why. Okay. And the third will be the occasion. Obviously for the occasion, I am making for the award function or for the prom night or for ethnic wear, means for festivals. Okay. So that's why. So here I am creating 3 properties for each object. When I will create these objects, they should follow all these properties what I will write inside this class. Okay. So I hope you understood what is this. So now I'll take another example also, and I will teach you one more thing in this. Here I am taking example of a car. So our class name will be car, and here the objects which will be created based on this class blueprint will be C1, C2 and C3. So this is the syntax. First class, then our class name, and that is car, and inside the curly braces you have to write the attributes or the blueprint or the properties. Okay. So here I am only giving two properties, and that is first will be car color and the second will be model. So see here, what are methods? Methods are the function or the features or the actions which our car will perform. For example, in our car can move, right? When you will drive the car, it can move. So our first action or the feature which our car will perform is that. It is a very simple feature, but yes. Another is you can open or close their doors, right? Your car door you can open also and you can close also. And the next is open roof. Yes, you can open your car roof also. These are the three features your car can perform, right? So now this is the short recap what we have learned till now. So our OOPS is based on two things mainly, that is classes and objects. Inside the class you can write the blueprint, and in that blueprint you can write the attributes or the properties, and your methods or the action you can write, right? And whenever you will create new objects, you can name them object 1, object 2, object 3, or C1, C2, C3, or D1, D2, D3. Okay, whenever you will create these objects will be based on these attributes, properties, and on the methods or actions, right? So now we will write code for OOPS, and that is object oriented programming, right? So if I give you a question, and that is you have to create an employee table or you have to write the employee data. So what will be the employee data? You can write employee name. Second, employee ID. Third, what is the salary of an employee, right? And the fourth will be on which post he or she is working, right? Is it a software engineer or a tester or a manager, right? So you can write that. So first I will teach you how to create employee data without using OOPS, and then I will teach you how to create employee data with using OOPS, so that you can understand the difference with using OOPS and without using OOPS, right? So if we are not using OOPS, then you have to use list. That is the simplest way. That's why I will teach list in very short in this tutorial. But if you want to learn list with the help of practice questions and projects in detail, you will get its complete tutorial link in description box. You can check out, right? So here I am creating a employee data, and that is, so first I am creating employee 1. Okay, and here I will store its name also and its ID also. Its name is Harish, okay, and its ID is 11, okay. And the next one more you can take detail, and that is its post, but I am not taking, I am taking only two data, okay, that is name and its ID, okay. Now if I want to print this, okay, so how we will print this? I will simply write here print, and then inside that you can write the name of your employee, means the variable or the list you have created, that you can write employee 1. And now I will run this code. See here, it's showing correct output, but it's showing in list form. Yes, but don't worry, I will explain you how to create without a list. That is Harish and employee ID. If I want to create one more employee, and that is employee 2, I can create that. This time I am giving its name Anjali, okay, and its employee ID is 12, okay. And now I will print this, that is print and employee 2, right? And now I will run this code. So let's see. See here, it's showing correct output, Harish 11 and Anjali 12, right? So here we are creating employee data with the help of list, not with the help of OOPS. So here it's printing in the form of list. If you don't want in the form of list, then there is a way, and that is you can use F string. So you can write here like this, print, then you can use F string, and here you can write data of employee 1 is, and inside the curly braces you can use the employee name or the list name which you have created, or the variable name which you have written here, that is employee 1. Okay, and inside the square bracket you can write the data what you want to print. If I want its name should be printed as output, means employee 1 name should print as output. So I can write here index number. What will be its index? I have already taught you what are index in the previous tutorial. So its index is 0 and its index is 1, right? So here I will write 0. Okay, and I will write here employee 2, and again I will write the variable or the list name, and that is inside the curly braces employee 2, and inside the square bracket, that is where is employee 2 name written? At the 0th index. So that's why I'm writing here 0. Now I'll run this code. See here, it's showing like this, not in the list form but in a sentence. See here, data of employee, this is the simple text, that's why it's showing like that. And here I have written this employee, and at the 0th index employee 1, and at the 0th index this is employee 1, and at the 0th index Harish is written, that's why showing this. And is the simple text, this is also the simple text, and then employee 2, and at the 0th index what is there? Anjali is there, that's why showing Anjali. If I write here its ID is, and now employee inside the curly braces employee 2 ID I am writing here, and where is the ID? At the first index, means at the 0th index is the name, and at the 1 index there is ID. See here, it's showing correct output. Its ID is 12, right? Its ID is 12. I have not written here employee 1 ID, that's why it's not showing. If you want to, you can write this also. Let me show you this. See here, now I will just write here 1, right? Now I'll run this code. See here, it's showing correct output. Employee 1 is Harish, its ID is 11, and employee 2 is Anjali, and its ID is 12. Okay, so I hope you understood how you can create employee data without using OOPS. So now we will use OOPS while creating employee data, and that is our syntax is, so first we will write class, then class name, and here I am giving its name, that is employee. Okay, then colon, and in the next line we have to write the blueprint or the attributes or the properties, but initially I am not giving any attribute, I am just writing here pass. Okay, just for showing you how to create syntax for this. Okay, then I will give properties also, don't worry. Now the next line, and here I will create objects. My class is created. Yes, initially it's empty, but we have created our class, right? Now we will create our objects. So our object name I'm giving, that is employee 1. Okay, and here I will write class. Okay, and then parenthesis, and now I can print this. I can directly print this inside bracket, and here I can write the employee or the object name, right? See here, our class is created. It will not show any output because initially it's empty, but we have created our class. See here, it's not showing any error, so means our code is correct. Whenever I will pass here properties or write properties attributes, it will show that. But first listen, this is different and this is different. This is the class name which I have created here. See here, employee, this is the class name, that's why I have taken here uppercase, and here I have written here lowercase, so that you can understand in a better way. This is the class name after equal to, and before equal to it is the object name which we are creating. This is the employee 1 object I am giving its name, that's why it's written here employee 1. And whenever you will print any object data, then inside the print or in print you have to write the object name, not the class name, object name. See here, I am not writing here employee, I am writing here employee 1 or employee 2 or employee 3 I will write. So I hope you understood. Now I will delete this part, and now we will create our properties inside our class. What will be our properties? If I am giving its name, that is employee name, my first property. And now you have to give its data also, and that is employee name is Arav. Okay, so I have given its name Arav, and the next will be ID. Okay, 12. Okay, so we have given here. Okay, So now I will create my objects based on this blueprint. So I am creating object, and that is employee 1, and my class name, and that is employee. Okay. Now I will print this employee 1 data I want to print. So inside the bracket I will write employee, means object name. So here I have only created one object, that's why I'm writing here employee 1, then dot, and now I will use the blueprint which I have written inside the class, and that is name and ID. So first I want to print employee name, so I will write here name. Okay. And then comma, I want to print employee ID, employee dot ID. Okay. And now I will run this code. See here, it's showing correct output. That is Arav. First name is written and then ID, and that is 12. Okay, so I hope you understood. So see here, if I want to create another object, so I will create another object in similar way. So will this work? Tell me. Let's see. Here I am writing here 2. Here also I will write here 2. And here also I will write 2. Okay, so now it's correct. And now I'll run this code. See here, why it's printing same answer again and again? I am creating another object, right? So it should print another data, but it is printing same data. That is Arav and 12. Yes, because we have given single data for the name and for the ID also. Okay, that's why it's showing same output. So if you don't want similar output should come, if you want different output should come for all the objects, for employee 1, for employee 2, for employee 3, right? So you can use constructors, or you can say that you have to use methods. Okay. So how we will create our method? Let's see. I'll just delete this part and I'll just remove this first. So now we have to create a init function or method, you can say that. So I'll just remove this part and now we will create this. Okay. It's showing error because we have not given any input, or we have not created any properties. We will create, don't worry. So now see this. After this line, class and the class name, after colon, you have to create a init function, and its syntax is def. Okay. And then init, you have to write in this way. See here, it's recommending also. Yes. Like this. Okay. Means whenever you will write init and press enter, then it will simply write this complete part. But I don't want this because I have to teach you how to create it. That's why I'm removing this part. Okay. After that, you have to write the parenthesis. Okay. And inside this parenthesis, you have to pass the parameters. So our first parameter will be self, and this is compulsory. You have to create it. Okay. But for self, you don't have to give any input, but you have to create the parameters. We have already learned these, what are parameters, what are functions, what are methods in the function method tutorial, and we have made 3 projects also in functions tutorial. If you have not watched, then you can get its link in description box. You can check out. Here for the self, you don't have to give any input, but for the remaining parameters you have to give the input. Now the next parameter I'm giving here, these will be the properties. Next parameter is the name. Okay, and the third is the ID. I have created this. Now you have to write the properties or the blueprint here. Self dot and then name, because our first property is name. Okay. And then here you will write like this. Now tell me, is this name? Here also I'm writing here name. Now tell me, is this name and this name or this name are same? No, they are not same. See here. Here whatever parameter you will write, this is the same what you are writing after equals to. Okay. And this name is different what you will write here. Okay, while printing. So I'll give it a different name, and that is, I am giving its name, full name, so that you don't get confused and you will know what is the difference. See here, I have changed this name and now it's showing error, means this and this is same. Okay. And this is same because it is not showing error, but this is showing error because I have changed this. I am giving its name FID, and now I will change this. And now see here, it's not showing any error, right? Why it's showing error? Because of the colon. Yes, now it's correct. Now the next property will be self dot ID, and after equals to the name which you are passing here. Okay, as parameter you have to write this after equals to f and then id. I hope you understood this part. Now the object which we are creating, it is same, that is employee1. This is the class name. Okay, and here you will write the object name here. Don't get confused, that's why I am repeating this part. This is the object which we are creating, and then dot, and this is the property name before equals to what you are writing. This is the property name id. Okay, before equals to what you are writing. Now I will run this code. Before running this code, we have to give input also. And where you will give input? Here, while calling this class, right? Here inside this parenthesis. So I'm giving its input for the name and for the id. If I'm giving its name, that is John, and its id is comma, and its id is 111. And for the self, you don't need to give any input. See here, it's showing correct output, that is John and 111. If I want to create another object or another employee, then I can write here employee 2, and see here, this time it will give different output because we are using constructor or methods. That's why for both the objects it will give different output. And I'm writing the class name, that is employee. Inside this I will pass the input for the parameters, and here I am passing Arush. Okay, and its id is 122. Okay, and then I am printing this. Inside this you have to write the employee name or the object name, that is employee 2. Okay, then dot, and then the property name, then again employee 2, then id, that is property. And now I will run this code. So see here we are using method init function, and here it is showing different output. Okay, previously it was showing same output, right? But when we are using this init, it is showing different output for the John also and for the Arush also. I am only creating 2 objects. You can create multiple objects for practice. So now for your understanding, let me write this also. Here we are creating method. Okay, and let me comment out this part. And here we are creating our class, or I will write creating class. Yes, and I will comment out this part also. Here we are writing the properties, and here we are passing the parameters, you know that. Okay, and here we are creating objects, right? Creating objects. So now you will ask me, Priyanshi, here we are writing a single method, that is init function. Okay, so can we create more methods? Yes, you can create more than one method. How? Let's see. So let me write here second method we are creating here. I will create a simple method just for teaching you. You can create in a different way also, whatever you want, or you can take different example also. The example which I have given you at the starting of this video, that is dress or PR fashion example, you can take that example also for your practice. Okay, so let's see. Here I am creating our second method, and that is I will write here def. Okay, and then I am writing its name, that is employee details. I am writing here, and inside this parenthesis I am only passing this self. I am not passing more parameters because self is compulsory, you have to pass, and then colon. So the first method you have to create init only, it is compulsory, and after that whatever name you can give as methods, but first method should be init only. You have to keep this in mind. So now the next is inside this second method, that is employee details, we will create the properties. Okay, but in this example I'm not creating any properties because I have created 2 properties and that is enough. I want to print, directly print, so I can print because I have not given here any parameters. Okay, I have only given here self, that's why. So I am writing here print. So inside this parenthesis I am writing here f string, and now I will write here the parameter name, and that is self. Obviously self dot name you write, enter. Okay, Now, and its ID is, I'm writing a simple text, its ID is, and inside the curly braces I will write here again self dot ID I'm writing here. Okay, so now we have written here. So here I am calling this, so that is employee I'm writing here, employee one data I want to print, that's why, and dot, and here I will write the method name which I have created. Method name is employee details. See here, it's recommending also employee details, right? And this, okay, it's empty because I have only created one single parameter, and that is self. So for self there is no need to give any input, that's why I'm not giving here any input. If you want to, then you can create more parameters also. And now I will run this code. See here, it's showing correct output. First it is showing for this because our first method is in it, that's why it's showing for this, and the next is obviously in it for employee 2, and then our second method is this employee details. After that it is showing this. Okay, I have written here self dot name for the employee 1, that's why our employee name is John. Employee 1 name is John, that's why it's writing here. Its ID is the simple text, that's why it's showing this. Okay, and then self dot ID for the employee 1 I'm writing here, that's why it's showing here 111. I hope you understood this part. If you want to create more parameters, you can create here more parameter. If I want to create post, means on which post employee is working. Okay, so for that I have to give here one more, that is self dot post. Okay, and if post I'm giving its name, here also I have to pass that parameter, that is f post. Okay, now it's correct. Here I have written here f post, yes. Here also I have written here, so I have to write here its post is and self dot post, yes. And obviously I have to pass its input also, otherwise how will I code editor knows okay what to print as output. So for that, for employee 1 I want to print, so comma, and its post is software engineer. Okay, and now I will run this code. See here, it's showing error. Why it's showing error? And now I will teach you how to see that on which line error is showing and what is the reason. See here, it's showing that 29 line. Okay, and on which line it's showing error, and that is employee 2, employee Arush 122. Okay, so let's see. Yes, it's showing at this line 29 line, right? Why it's showing error? See here, here we are passing three parameters, right? Name, ID and post, right? And here also we are passing three properties or attributes, okay, or blueprint, right? And here also while creating our object 1, we are passing three input. See here, John for name, 111 for ID, and software engineer for the post. But in this object 2, that is Arush, we are only passing 2 input, not 3. We have to give 3 input, and then it will not show error, it will give correct output. Okay, so for this I will pass here third input, and that will be for the post, on which post Arush is working. So I am giving here post, that is CA. Okay, and here also for printing we have to give. If you don't write here, it will not show error, but it will not show the CA also. Let me run this code. See here, it's showing correct output for this, for object 1, that is John, for employee 1 name, ID, that is 111, and software engineer for the post. And here see, for the employee 2 name, that is Arush, and employee 2 ID, that is 122. But here I have given CA, but I am not printing it, that's why it's not showing here. Okay, CA. If I want to show this, then I have to write here employee 2 dot and then post, right? And now I will run this code. See here, now it's showing CA, right? And the next line is John, its ID is 111. This is for this employee details, right? Because we are using f string. I have taught you why to use and where to use f strings in the previous tutorials. Please follow the complete playlist of Python. You will get each and everything in detail and with examples and projects and practice questions, and you will get its link in description box. See here, self dot name, okay, which is printing, that is John, okay, because we are calling for the employee 1, that's why it's giving John. If I write here employee 2, then it will print the output for the this employee 2 data. See here, now it's showing Arush. First it was showing John, right? Its ID is 111. Now it's showing Arush, its ID is 122. Okay. For this method, it is showing. I hope you understood how to write code for this. And now we will jump to our next question. So now before starting our advanced topics in OOPS, first I'll explain you with the help of example also. Here I am taking car example, right? So see here, this we have seen class, objects, attributes and methods definition, right? Here I am giving you an example of car, and that is this is the blueprint because we are creating a class and its name is car. Here we are writing only pass. We are not writing properties here, okay? And this is the explanation part. Now the next page is, this is for the notes. If you want to make, you can make. Okay. Here we are creating object, that is instance of a class, right? So car1 equals to, this is the object name, and equals to, this is the class name which we have created, right? And this is the explanation part. You can read once. Okay. Next, we are creating the attributes. First, we are only writing pass, right? Now we are creating attributes, okay, inside this. So attributes are the data stored in an object, like its name, age, color, price, etc., right? So here we are creating a class, that is car. Then we are creating a method, that is init method. I already told you, if you are creating your first method, you have to give its name init. After that, you can give any name. So init self, brand and color. We are passing here two parameters, that is brand and color, and self is compulsory. Okay, so self dot brand equals to brand, self dot color equals to color. Here in this example, these both name are same, so don't get confused. This is different and this is different. I have already taught you. Okay, and here we are creating object, that is car1. Here our class name, and here I am passing the input for the brand, that is Toyota, and this is the color, that is red. Okay, and here I am printing for the car1 object dot brand, so its output will be Toyota. If I write here car1 dot color, then it will print red, right? So I hope you understood this part also. Now the next page is for the methods. We have already learned this also, that is methods function inside class, right? So this is the method. I am creating another method, and that is drive. Okay, and here I am passing only self, not any other parameter, right? Then I'm printing car is driving, so it will print simply. Okay, when I will write this car1 dot drive, okay, so it will print. Okay, so I hope you understood. You can read this table. So now we will learn advanced topics in our OOPS. So now our next topic is access modifiers, and what does this mean? See here, access modifiers means, by the name you can understand that access means, for example, why we use password? We use password so that unauthorized people cannot access our data, our private data, right? So here we are using access modifier so that unauthorized people, or whom we don't want to access them, okay, they cannot access our class or methods or data in simple language. Okay, and there are three types of access modifiers in our OOPS, and that is public, protected and private. And what are these? I will explain you one by one. So see here, I have written each and every definition here. You can make notes for them, or you can take a screenshot for this, okay, as you wish. So now the definition of our access modifier in Python are used to control the accessibility or the visibility of class attributes and methods, right? Now our first type of access modifier is public, right? So definition is accessible from anywhere in your code, inside or outside the class, right? By the name you can understand, public means anyone can access within the class and outside the class. Okay, so now we will write code for this, and we will take same example only, car, so that it will be helpful for you to understand. So now I will create a class, and that is car. I am giving its name. Now colon. I hope till now you understood what is the syntax of this. Okay. Now we are creating a method, and that is def. We are creating our first method in it. Okay. Now self is written. Okay, pass. I am removing this pass because I am creating one property or attribute, you can say. Okay, that is self dot brand. I am only creating one property. You can create more as you wish. And here I am passing Toyota. Okay, And after that, this is the public attribute. Okay, how you can know that this is the public attribute? After self and after this dot, I am not writing anything. Okay, if you're not writing anything directly, you are writing your property name, that means it is public, right? After dot, if you're writing directly your property name, that means it's public, right? And now I am using this outside the class, equals to car, sorry, capital, because our class name is capital, and then parenthesis. And after that, I'm printing here outside the class, I'm repeating, okay, so that you can know this is public, and dot brand. And now I will run this code, and it can be accessible directly, so that's why it will print. See here, it's printing Toyota, means it can access, right? That's why. Okay, so now our next is protected type of access modifier, and its definition is should only be accessed within the class or its subclasses. Okay, not outside the class, within the class or its subclasses. Okay, and in Python it's just a convention using a single underscore. Okay, in Python there is a problem also in this, and that I will explain you after writing this code. Okay, so now we will write code for this, and that is, I will take another example class, and here I am giving its name vehicle. This is the common example for all the vehicles, and def, and obviously in it. Okay, I am removing this pass here, and I will create a new property. And see here, after dot I will use underscore, a single underscore. Okay, not double, a single. And after that I am writing my property name, and that is engine, and this engine works on petrol. Okay, so I have written here, and now I will create a subclass also. How to create a subclass? Let's see. See here, class. Inside this class vehicle, I am creating a subclass, and that is bike. You can understand like this also. Vehicle is a common, okay, and a particular example we are taking, and that is bike. Or you can take car or bus, okay, like this also. This is a very simple example, and here I am passing this vehicle only. See here, this is our main class, and that only I am passing here. Okay, and its spelling is wrong, I think. No, it's correct. Okay, but I am writing here lowercase, but I have to write here uppercase. Okay, now it's correct. Then colon, and after that I will create a method, and that is show engine. And here I want to show engine, on which engine it works. And here I am passing only self. Then colon, and then in the next line I will print this, and simply write engine type. Okay, and after this comma, and now I want to print the value of self dot underscore engine, right? So what it will print? It will print this petrol, because its value is self dot engine. Okay, so self dot engine. And why I'm writing here vehicle? So that it can take the value from here. This petrol is written here, so it can take this value here, and it will print here. That's why I'm writing here vehicle. Okay, so now we will create object for this, and I'm giving its name, that is B. Okay, for the bike, and here I am passing the class name. Okay, because we are printing here in the subclass, and B dot show engine. Okay, and the parenthesis, and now I will run this code. Okay, so let's see what output will come. See here, engine type petrol. And now you will ask me, Priyanshi, you told that this is the protected, and you are printing here. Okay, yes, I am printing here. See here, I have written print inside this subclass, and in the public I have written outside the class here at the end. Okay, after creating the object, but here I am writing inside the subclass. Okay, so it is showing correct answer. Okay, And now I will teach you one more thing. See here. Now I will print outside the class also. Okay, after creating the object. See here what output will come. And that is the problem only in this. B dot engine. And now it will show the output. See here, it's showing petrol, means correct output is showing. Okay, here I have written simple text, that's why it's showing. Here I have not written simple text, only I want answer, means the value, that's why it's only showing the value. Okay, and now you will ask me, you told that outside the class it will not show output, but it is showing. Yes, this is the problem in our Python, and that is Python recommends you that please don't use this. Please don't use this outside the class. Okay, in protected access modifier. Okay. But if you will use this code in Java or C++, it will show error in that. But in Python, it will not show error. Okay. It will recommend you don't use this, but it will not stop you also. Okay, so I hope you understood how this works in Python. And that only I have written here, important concept, and that is in Python, self.engine means what we have created is protected by convention. That means we are saying please don't access it from outside, but Python won't stop you if you do. Okay. In Java, C++, a protected variable cannot be accessed outside the class or subclasses, but in Python it can be. Okay. So now we will jump to our next access modifier. So our next access modifier is the private. So by the name you can understand that it is private. So now we will write code for this. So see here, I will create here class and I am giving its name bank account. Okay. Why I am taking this example? Because private is the best access modifier for this example. So now I am creating a method and that is div, and first method and that is init. Okay, so I am removing this pass and I am giving my own property and that is self dot, and see here underscore 2 times, because in private you will use 2 underscores. And now balance and equals to 1 10,000. Okay, I will write here 10,000. Okay, and this is private. And again I will create a method and that is def, and its name is get balance. Get balance I'm giving here and I'm passing here self, only self, and then colon, and here I will return a value and that is self dot double and then balance, right? And now I will create object and that is ACC, that is account, and here I am giving the class name that is bank account and here parenthesis. After that in the next line I will print this. Okay, so print account dot get and balance. Okay, and now I will run this code. So let's see what output will come. So our output is 10,000 rupees. So first I will explain you the code and then I will tell you the reason why it's showing this output. Okay, first we have created our class, then our init method, then here we have created another method. Okay, and here we are creating a property. Okay, and here we are telling that this is private underscore 2 underscores. Okay, so means it is private, right? And here we are passing and here we are creating the object and here we are printing outside the class, and then it's showing this. Okay, now you will ask me, Priyanshi, you told that this is private type of access modifier. Then why it's showing output? It should not show output, right? Yes, I have told you. But see here, here we are not using this double underscore. That is double underscore balance. Here we are using get balance method. And this get balance method does not know that this is private or not. Okay. If you will directly print this double underscore balance, then it will show error. But if you will pass this value to another method, here we are passing this, right? If you will pass this to another method, that method does not know it is private or not and it will simply print that answer. Okay, so that's why if you want to check that this is private or not, you have to directly print this. Okay, balance. So our name is this balance. So I'll just copy this and I will print this outside the class and see here what output will come. I will write here print and then our object name Like this only we used to write, right? Dot and directly this property name, and that is balance. And now I will run this code, that is private, and it will show error. See here, it is showing error. Okay, so I hope you understood how to use it, how to use private access modifier. Okay, so now our next topic is types of methods, and what does this mean? There are two types of methods, and that is static and the second is class method. Okay, so first we will see static method, and that is static method definition is belongs to the class but does not need self. It's used when the method logic does not depend on the object data. Yes, it's correct. Till now what we were doing, we were using self, right? But here we will not use self. If your logic is not depending on your object, then you can use static method, right? So now we will write code for this. So I'm taking an example, and that is if I want to add two values, so I will need two variables or two parameters, right? A and B, and I can give their values and I can add them. Okay, or I can find the sum of them. Okay, you can say that. So now I will create a class, and I'm giving its name mult utils, and here colon, and in the next line I am using the static method at the rate. See here, like this you have to use static, then in lowercase. Okay, static method, yes, like this, and no colon is used here. And in the next line you can create the method def, and here I am creating method and its name is add because I want to add these values, or you can give its name sum also, a and comma b. Okay, and now colon, and in the next line I can directly return this, and I will return here a plus b. And now in the next line I will print this, and that is print, and here I will use the class name, and that is multutils. Okay, and here I am using this method, and that is add. So dot add here, and I will pass the input for the a also and for the b also. It's saying also for a comma and then b. So for the a I am passing here 7, and for the b I am passing here 10, and it will add them and it will give output, and that is 7 plus 10, 17. See here, it's showing correct output. And see here, we are not using here self because we are not creating any object only, that's why. So it means our logic or our solution is not depending on our object, so then you can use static method. So now our next type of method is class method, and its definition is has access to the class itself, not to instance. It uses CLS instead of self. Yes, it will have access to class itself, means while writing the print you have to directly write the class name, and that I will show you. And it uses CLS instead of self. Now I will create class, that is class, and its name is student I am giving, then colon, and after that school, and here I am giving its value a b c school, or whatever name you want to give, you can give school. Okay, and after that I will use class method, and at the rate class and method in lowercase. Okay, and in next line you can create the method, and that is def, and get school I am giving its name here, and inside this parenthesis you have to write the CLS, not the self. Okay, and after colon, and here I will directly return this, that is CLS. Like this only we have to write. Okay, CLS dot and then school. Okay, so we have written here. Why school? Because this value we want to print as output, and it is stored here in school. That's why I'm writing here school. Okay, and here I will print this, and see here I am directly writing the class name, what it was written in the definition, and dot get school, obviously, and parenthesis. Okay, empty because we have already given here value. Now I will run this code. See here, it's showing ABC school. So I hope you understood how to use class methods. Okay, and here we are using CLS, and here we are directly writing the class name, that is student, and dot get school. Okay, and this value we are returning from here, and it will return here and it will print here. Okay, so I hope you understood this part. Now we will jump to our next topic in our oops. So see here, next topic is dunder method, and after this we will jump to our advanced topic of oops, and that is very important. So please watch till the end. But currently we are learning this. Dunder methods are of two types, that is init and str. Okay, and that we have learned init. But I will teach you what is str. Str is, it will return string representation of an object when you will print it. Yes, it will return the string representation of an object. Okay, how? Let's see with the help of example. I will create a class, and that is book, then colon, and our first, that is init. This is the constructor. Okay, and here I will remove this pass and I will write here, means I will create a property, and that is title. And here also I have to pass this parameter, don't worry, I will pass title. Okay, and this title only I will pass here. Yes, now it's correct. And after that again I will create a method, and that is str, def underscore underscore str. Yes, and here I will use self only, and I will remove this part and I will return from here directly. And f string I am printing here. In the definition only it's written that it will return string representation of an object. So I want to print this, or I want to return this, that is title, book title, and here I will pass the self dot title, and whatever input I will give for the self dot title, it will print that. Yes, it's written here. And after that I will print this. Here I am creating the objects, that is B, and its name is book, and here I am passing the input for the title. Okay, so I am passing here Python, and its book name is Python Basics. Okay, and this it will print, and in the print I will write here B. Okay, that is object name. And now I will run this code. See here, it's showing correct output, that is book title, because I have written here book title. I will write here colon also. Okay, so now we will run this code. See here, it's showing correct output, that is book title, and here I have passed Python Basics in the parenthesis. Okay, for the input. So that's why showing here Python Basics. So I hope you understood how to use this str method, okay, or dunder method. So now we will learn the most important part of our OOPS, and that is 4 pillars of OOPS, and that is inheritance, encapsulation, polymorphism, and abstraction. First we will learn what is inheritance. So what does inheritance means? By the name you can understand that inheritance means, for example, the genes which our grandparents have, okay, they are inherited and came to our parents, right? The genes which our parents have, they are inherited and came to us, right? So that means we have inherited the genes which our parents have. Okay, so in short, in inheritance we will use that only. If we create two classes, first will be the parent class and the second will be the child class. This child class will inherit all the genes which our parents have. Okay, and children will have some extra genes also, but they will inherit the parents gene also. Okay, so now we will create our class, and I am using the simplest example so that you can understand in better way. And please share this course with your friends and family so that it will give motivation to create more and more videos for you. Okay, so now we are creating a class, and that is animal. This is the parent class, general class. Okay, and here I am creating a method, and that is speak, animal speak, and here I am passing self, no parameter I am passing. Okay, and I will directly print here, that is animal is saying that I can make a sound, make a sound. Okay, so we have written this. This is the parent class. Now I will create a child class, and how you can make a difference which is the parent class and which is the child class, I'll tell you, don't worry. See here, class, and then here I am creating a child class, and its name I am giving dog. And see here, inside this parenthesis I am not passing the self, I will pass directly the parent class. Yes, I will pass the parent class. Like this you can understand which is the parent class and which is the child class. This is the parent class, and our child is inheriting all the properties of the parent, and it will have some extra properties also, but it will inherit all the properties of the parent class. Okay, so like this you can make the difference. And then colon, in the next line I will create another method, and that is def, and here I am writing bark self. Okay, colon parent, and after that here I am writing here the sound which dog make. Okay, woof, I am writing here. This is just an example to teach you what is this inheritance. Okay, so now we have created our parent class, and this is our child class also. And now I will create object, and see here I am creating object, that is D, and here I am passing the class of the child, not the parent. I am passing the child. See here, dog. This is the dog. Okay, this is the dog class, and this is the child, so I am passing this parenthesis. And here I will write here, we have written print here, so there is no need to write print here again. Okay, and here I am directly telling that object name dot speak. Here I am using the method of the parent class, not the child class, but it will print that also. Once again I'll explain you. Here I am writing the child class, but the property I am using of the parent class, but it will give correct output because our child class is inheriting all the properties of the parent, so it can give output. If you will don't write inside this parenthesis animal, and then you want to print the property of the parent by writing this dog, it will not show. Okay, so speak, and then it's correct, and then parenthesis. And now okay, first I will run this code, and then I will teach you the next thing. See here, it's showing correct output. I am using here child class, that is dog, and here I am using the property of the parent class, that is speak, of animal, but it is showing correct output. I can make a sound. Here it is showing, because in speak method I can make a sound is written, that's why it's showing this. Now I will use the property, okay, or the method, yes, or the method of this child class in this, and it will also show that. So D dot bark, obviously it will show because this is the child only and this is the child only, that's why. See here, it's showing woof. I hope you understood. Let me remove this part, and now I will run this code. See here, it's showing error. Okay, because you have removed this. Now our coordinator don't know which is the parent and which is the child, so how this child can inherit. Now again I will run this code. See here, now it's showing correct output. So I hope you understood how does this inheritance work. Okay, you can take 2 or 3 examples more and you can practice them. For your explanation I am writing here so that you can take a screenshot or make notes for this. Inherited from animal I am writing here, or parent you can write, and then define a dog or child, sorry, or child, as you wish. So I hope you understood. Now we will jump to our next pillar of our OOPS. So now our next pillar of OOPS is polymorphism, and its definition is same function behaves differently depending on the object. Yes, whenever you will create a single function and you create multiple objects, they will behave differently with each object. Okay, how? Let's see with the help of example and code. So if I create a class, and that is class and its name bird, and after that I am creating a method, and that is sound, and here I am only passing self, not any other parameter. Okay, then colon, and then in the next line I will directly print. What will be in the print? The sound which bird create, chirp, or anything you can write whatever you want, it is just an example. So now we have created our first class. Okay, now we will create another class, and that will be cat. Okay, cat here, and in the next line I am creating a method, and that is sound, and here I am passing self here. Okay, and in the next line I am printing the sound which cat make. So that is meow. Okay, so I have created this, and now I will create another method. Yes, I will create another method, but not inside this class, outside this. Here I am creating this method. Okay, and this will behave differently with each of the object. Okay, so its name is animal, and underscore sound giving its name, and in this I am passing parameter, that is animal. Okay, and in that I am using this parameter dot, and I am writing a sound, means the method which I have created for both, for the bird also and for the cat also. Okay, and whenever I will use this bird sound, okay, it will print chirp, and whenever I will use this cat sound, it will print meow. Okay, so like this, and parenthesis empty. So I have created three methods. First is inside bird, second is inside this cat, and the third is outside this cat. Okay, so now here I am using this, and what I am using, I am using this method, that is animal sound, which I have created here. And see here, inside this parenthesis, it's recommending also, inside this parenthesis I will give a class, and that will be either bird or either cat. First I will give bird. Okay, and parenthesis, and now I will print. Here I am giving bird. Okay, and here it's written inside this method. See here, once again I'll explain you. This is the method animal sound, and in this I am passing the parameter animal, and I'm writing here animal dot sound. Animal dot sound have two values, and that is, first is this sound, that is chirp, and second is this sound, and that is meow. Whatever I will write here, currently I'm writing here bird, so it will print this sound, that is chirp. And if I write this cat, then it will print meow. First I'm writing bird, so I will see what output will show. See here, it's showing chirp chirp. It's correct. And now if I write here cat, animal sound, and inside this parenthesis I will write here cat. Okay, cat and parenthesis. Okay, and now I will run this code. So let's see. See here, it's showing meow. And now what is the conclusion of this? This is the polymorphism. I am creating one single method, and it is behaving differently for each of the object. This is the different object, okay, bird, and this is the different cat. Means it is storing both. Here it is storing both, for this also, for this sound also, and for this sound also. Okay. So I hope you understood how does polymorphism work, and now we will jump to our next pillar of OOPS. So now our next pillar in our OOPS is encapsulation. And what does this mean? So by the name you can understand that encapsulation means encapsule or capsule. Yes. What we see in our capsule, a cover is there, and inside that some medicine is stored, or it's safe or secure, right? So similarly in encapsulation, some data will be there in private variables, and they are secure, or they will be private. Okay, and if you want to access them, you can safely access them, but for the unauthorized people it will be private. Similarly, as the bank account example, there is password, so that unauthorized people cannot access that or remove any money, right? So that's why. So why we use password in our mobile? So that unauthorized people cannot use our mobile, right? Only we can use it. That's why. So similarly here, we will use encapsulation here, so that our data can be protected or secure. So here I am creating a class, and that is class, and its name is bank account. Bank account I am giving its name. And after that, def method I am creating, that is init. And here I will give some property, and that will be self, and it will be private. Okay, you can imagine it like a variable also, and it will be private. That's why underscore 2 times. I have already taught you. And balance, I am currently giving balance 0, and I will add afterwards. Okay, whenever you open your bank account, okay, it is empty only, then only you can deposit money, right? So like this also you can imagine. Okay, I'll write here, this is the private. variable for you to understand. Okay, so I have written this, and now in the next line I will create another method, and that will be deposit. And see here what I am doing here. First parameter self, and the second is amount I am creating or giving. Okay, and here I am giving self dot underscore 2 times, and that is balance, which I have given in the above method, that is balance. Okay, and here I am adding the amount. Initially it is 0 in balance, in private variable it is 0. Here I am adding that. You do one thing, self dot underscore 2 times, and here I am adding amount, and that will be amount. Okay, and in input I will give amount, and that will be 10,000 rupees, but afterwards I will give. But see here I am giving, in this deposit I am giving self underscore balance, that is private. But when you will give in another method, then you can access them securely. If you don't want them to access, then simply don't give here, only give here. Okay, and if you will directly print this, it will not print, it will show error because it is private. But if you will pass this variable or this property to another method, then it will print, but it will be called as safe access. Okay, so now in the next line I am creating another method, and here I will add the or deposit the money, for that it is. And the next method will be for the get balance, def and get balance. And here I am writing self and return self dot balance. Right, so I have written here. Here I am passing, that's why it will print, but whenever I will print directly the balance, it will not show any output, it will show error. Now I am creating an object, and that is ACC, and here I am giving the bank account class. Okay, and in the next line, object name dot deposit method I am using, and here I am depositing the money. So here I am giving 10,000 rupees. Okay, so how this code is running in backend, I will teach you that. See here. Here I have written the logic. Initially this self balance is 0. Okay, so then our code editor, I am telling that you do one thing, whatever initial balance is there, you add amount, whatever user is giving the amount. Okay, you add that in self balance and you store in this. Okay, so that is 10,000 rupees. So this amount will be added in this, and it will be stored in it only, in self balance only. Okay, I hope you understood how this code is running in backend. So now we have written this, and now I will print this. And inside this parenthesis I am writing here account dot get. Okay, and balance. Get balance is the method which we have created. Okay, and now I will run this. This is the safe access I am writing here. I have not taught you there because I have to teach in this encapsulation, that's why. See here, it's showing 10,000 rupees. This is the safe access. We are using this. Okay, if you don't want them to access here, so don't write here. Okay, and if I want to directly access this balance, so see here what output will show. Now I will write print, and then our object name, and then directly write the balance. Okay, or the property name or the attribute name. See here, it's showing error. That means it is private and you want to access it. No, it will not work. Our code editor is saying that. Okay, so I hope you understood how does this encapsulation work. And now we will jump to our next topic. I'll write here also that it will show error private variable or private attribute, whatever you want to say, you can say that. Okay, so now we will jump to our next question. So now our next pillar in our OOPS is, that is abstraction. And what does this mean? So first I'll teach you with the help of example, and then we will see our definition. And that is, for example, I am buying a car. Okay, so tell me that I am the customer Am I interested in knowing that how this car is working, or how many hardwares are there inside the car, or how many wires are there inside the car? No, I am only interested that this car should work properly and this car should have all the facilities whatever I want in my car, right? So that's why the company owner or the company hides the remaining part of the car and only shows that part which is useful to the user, and the complex part or the confusing part or the unnecessary part it hides, right? So similarly in the abstraction, it will only show the essential features to the user and it will hide the complex details which is not necessary or which is complex, right? Encapsulation is also similar to the abstraction, but in both we hide data, but in encapsulation we hide the sensitive data which is very important to us, okay, or to the user. The sensitive data, for example, I have given you that bank account, the password is very sensitive, that's why we hide or we set as private, right? But in abstraction we hide data which is unnecessary or which is complex or which is confusing, okay. Both are little same but a little different. Here we hide sensitive data, okay, but here we hide unnecessary data or complex data, okay. I hope you understood, because most of the students get confused while learning this encapsulation and in abstraction also. And in my Java DSA course also I have taught my students like this only, that what is the difference of encapsulation and abstraction, and with the help of example also I have taught in the Java DSA course. So you will get the complete Java DSA placement course playlist link in the description box. You can check out. And in this course, Java DSA, you will get the interviews question also. Okay, for practicing with the tutorials and with the solutions. So now we will create a code for the abstraction. Encapsulation we have seen that. Okay, here we have seen encapsulation. Now we will see the abstraction. Okay. So for the abstraction, I will create here, but for that we have to import some of the things, and that will be from, don't worry, I will teach you what is this, abc import abc, okay, and then abstract method, because we will use abstract method here, that's why we will import that. What are these? This is the pre-built or pre-written code in Python, and we are just using by its name, okay, you can imagine like that. So now we will create a class and its name is vehicle, okay, and here I'm passing a b c, okay, and here I am using abstract method, okay, and after that I am creating a method, and that is def start I'm writing here, and then self I am passing here, okay, and after that I will write here directly pass, okay, and now I have written this part. So then I am creating another class, and that is car, and here I am passing the vehicle, means inheritance, similar to inheritance, okay. Vehicle means the parent I am passing here, so it will inherit all the properties of this parent. I'll give here space for you to understand, and then I will create another method inside this child, that is start, okay, and here I am writing here self, and here I am writing here print car started. So I have written here print, right? And now in the next line I will create a object, and that is equals to our class name, and that is car, parent I am giving here, sorry, child I am giving here, and then see, that is object name, and then start, which we have created here, right? Then parenthesis, and now I will run. What output will show? See here, this is the parent abstract method I'm using here, okay, and here I'm printing, so it will inherit this, okay, will inherit this and it will print this, okay, and this is the unnecessary part, so it is hiding this, okay. See here, it's only showing car started. If I write here this, see here, if I am writing here unnecessary or complex data, it will not print that, because this is abstract method and it will hide that. It is there, it is not removing that, but it is only hiding this. See here, again it's only showing car started, not this, okay. So in this way you can understand that. So in short, I will explain you what is abstraction, and that is, if you only want to use this child part, okay, you can directly use it and it will hide this parent one. If you only want to use this parent one, it will hide this child. It is not removing this, it is only hiding for now. Okay, so this is called abstraction. So now our next topic in our OOPS is, and that are operations on objects in Python. So let's see. First we have to create obviously object, then only we can apply operations, right? So this is the similar example which I have taught you starting of the tutorial, right? I will explain you verbally. See here. Here a class is created, its name is student. Here we are creating init method or constructor, and here we are passing two parameters, name and age. Okay, and here we are creating two properties for the name and for the age, right? Here we are creating object, that is s1, and we are passing the data for the name and for the age, and here we are printing object name dot name and object name dot age. Okay, here we are creating only one object. Okay, if I want to update the data of a object attribute or the object property, see here, this is the attribute. Okay, and for object 1, that is s1, its name is Arav, and I want to change this name. Okay, so I can change, or if I want to change this age, I can change. First I will change the age only. Okay, so let's see how to update the age. So for that I have to just write the object name. What is the object name? That is s1, right? This is the object and its name is s1, and dot age you have to write age. Okay, because here age is written, so that's why age. Okay, and now equals to, you have to write the value you want to update. uh, at the place of 20 I want to print 22, so I will simply write here 22. Okay, and now I will again print, and let's see what output will come to check whether it is updated or not. Updated age. Okay, and here I will write here s1, that is object name, and dot age, and now I will run this code. See here, it's showing 22. First it was 20 and it is printing, and when I updated this, it is 22. So I hope you understood this part. So now we will see the next operation, and that is delete. So let's see how to delete this. So for the delete, you have to simply write del. This is the pre-built code or the pre-built method in the Python, and we are just using by its name. Del for the delete, and then the object attribute which you want to delete or the object property you want to delete. I want to delete the age. Okay, so that's why I'm writing here s1 and dot age. Okay, and now I will run this code, or I will print also, and then it will show error because I have already deleted it. Then it will show error that it is not there. Initially it was printing, and after that it will not print. Then s1 dot age. See here, it's showing error because age is not there. Initially it is printing 20, then updated 22, and then it is showing error. So, and that is attribute error. Student object have no attribute, that is age. See here, currently it is only deleting the object attribute. Means this is the object, s1 is the object. So s1 age is deleted. If I create another object, it will print. I'll just show you. See here, I am creating another object, and that will be s2. Okay, and here I am writing the name, and that is Shiv. Okay, age is 19. Okay, and here I will write s2, and here also s2. Okay, and if I print here s2, then it will simply print that. It will print that. Or here it will show error for C, then only we will change. It is showing error before. Yes, I will just write this above this. Above this. Okay, so that it will print that, and afterwards it will show error. See here, it's printing 19. It's printing 19. That means s2 age is 19. It's correct, right? Or I will write here s2 age Now it's correct. And now I will run this code. So it will be easier for you to understand. See here. Arav, then 19 for Shiv, then 22 age, and now we are printing S2 age, and that is 19. And afterwards it's showing error because we have deleted this S1 age. That's why. Okay. So I'm again repeating this. This delete S1 age is only deleting the object attribute, means for the S1, for the Arav age. Okay, not for the S2. Okay. It is only deleting the object attribute for S1 object, right? Because we have written here S1. If I write here S2, then it will delete for the S2 object. Okay. And whenever you will create new objects, it will show for that. Okay. It will not show error for the new objects, right? Now the next question is how to delete the entire object. First I'll comment out this part, otherwise it will show error. Yes. Now if you want to delete the entire object, what does this mean? See here. Here two objects are there, that is S1, that is Arav, and S2, that is Shiv. If you want to delete this S1 complete object Arav and the age also and the name also, then you can directly write here DEL and then the object name. Directly write object name. Okay. And then in the next line print to check that is S1 deleted or not. And then in the next line print and write S1 to check S1 is deleted or not. And it will show error. See here, it is showing error and it's showing that name S1 is not defined. Means our code editor cannot find this S1 because it is deleted, right? And now if I write here S2, if I write here S2 print and then S2, and it will show. See here. S2 complete, this is the address of S2. I will write here S2 name you print. Okay, then it will show. See here, Shiv, S2 age dot age, yes, 19. Okay, it is showing Shiv and 19. And in the next line if I write here S1 age, it will show error. S1 dot age, or age I have deleted, so I will write here name. It will show error. See here, it's showing error. And for the age also obviously it will show error because we have deleted the complete S1 only. See here, it's showing error and that is name S1 is not defined. So I hope you understood how OOPS work, what are the operators, how to use them, what are the pillars of OOPS. I hope you like this tutorial. And do check out my complete Python course playlist with practice questions and with great projects. You will get its link in description box. And please follow that playlist from starting, from beginning. Because each and every topic is connected to each other and each tutorial. You will get a great mini project or a major project. Okay. So you can check out. You will get its complete playlist link in description box and the tutorials link in the description box. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, share with your friends and family, so that they can learn Python and Java and DSA with great projects and practice questions and interviews question. And how you like it, please comment below. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.